Greetings everyone and welcome back to 365 Days of Prog. Today we're going to be reviewing Photoplay by Jadis.
Hi, my name's Naomi. I'm an avid progressive rock fan, but I'm a long ways from knowing all the prog albums out there. But this year, I'm gonna give it a try. This is 365 Days of Prog.
So a quick cautionary warning before we start this off. I believe this is going to be a short video. So yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about it. We've already talked about Jadis, so I don't really have to introduce them. So it's going to be short. And another thing that's going to be short is the section of my favorite bits. But without further ado, here are some of my favorite bits from this album. So this is our second Jadis album on this list, and this one was released in 2006, being the sixth album by the band. Now, this album, alongside with More Than Meets the Eye, which we've reviewed, is a part of what I call the John Picks. Now, I recently gave this name because it's a very interesting subtopic that I have to talk about. Now, the John Picks are basically a list of albums that I was recommended to listen on this list when I was doing polls prior to, creating this channel. And someone recommended quite a lot of albums to me, and he's a John Doe, that's why I'm calling it the John Picks. And he gave me albums like Singularity by May and Mouse by Aragon, which were, two of the worst albums I've listened to on this channel. But on the other hand, he gave me an album like Pepper's Ghost, which I really liked. And he also gave me these two Jadis albums. Now, honestly, myself, I don't know who he is or what he likes to listen to, but the fact is he can give me the worst albums ever or some of the greatest. And that's really odd to me. So this is one of those, and hopefully it's going to be a good album. So while More Than Meets the Eye was probably Jadis' most critically acclaimed album, this album is probably their least critically acclaimed album. Now personally, I gave More Than Meets the Eye a 5 out of 10, which means this album either has to receive like a very high score because I am thinking everything opposite, or it's gonna get a really low score, and I'm gonna spoil it for you, it's gonna get a higher score. Now, I'm gonna confess this before I even start talking about this album. This album is pretty mediocre, and I can tell that. I listened to it, there was nothing overly special about it, and I can really feel that in the music. But the thing is, I kinda enjoyed it, so I rated it properly in the way that I felt about it. Now, a lot of people have mentioned about this album, people who have known the entire discography of Jadis, that what Jadis has basically started doing is creating this set formula of how a Jadis album should sound like, and making this formula again and again until they reach this album, which is basically a recycling of the same formula, and a lot of people claim that this is bad because of it. But although it's simple and not so proggy, I have to acknowledge the fact that I kinda enjoyed it, so I liked the songs on here, some more, some less, but honestly there was no real bad song on here like the last album. And the only reasoning I can give to this anomaly of what I feel about this album might be that I felt that with More Than Meets the Eye, the band were trying to be progressive but were unable, so it felt as it was like dissonant between what they want to do and what they actually accomplished. And I remember there was one song on there which was like supposed to be the proggiest one, it featured the most, potential to be proggy, but it failed miserably, and I didn't like that all that much. And in some way, the fact that they've just embraced the fact that they don't do prog, at least not the prog that we're used to from the 70s, and they embraced that feeling and actually made music that felt right to them, may have been taken better in my opinion. Now, although I don't have a lot to say about most of the songs on this album, I can tell you that it opens up with two songs which I see as two absolute bangers, and I like them quite a bit. The first song is really cool, it really opens the album in a great and meaningful way, and then the second song, which is called What Goes Around, and of course it completes to What Comes Around, is a fantastic song, really fun, really, heavy, hard-hitting, so amazing, and I liked it quite a bit, and I think it was the closest thing that they got to being actual prog. But you know, now after 2 listens of Jadis, and I know that there's another one coming up in like a few tens episodes, it's not really all that fun, and I don't really get the appeal that this band has. Maybe people that like, I believe, IQ and other ones that sound like Days of Prog basically like this, but I myself don't really love it all that much, and that's a shame because I will be seeing them live in July, and I would have hoped to have loved them more by then. But hey, you can't get what you want, that's what they say. I don't like this cover. I really don't. It makes me cringe. I don't know why. It has no substance to it. It doesn't look good. It looks like bad. The way that the text and the bar on top look, it just looks so like early 2000s. It's so bad. I don't know why anyone has ever thought that this cover was actually something good that was gonna sell. So yeah, much like yesterday's episode, this album is gonna receive a 7 out of 10. It's another case of me going against the current and actually rating higher albums which are considered probably the worst in, band's discography, but I don't know, that's just what I like, and this album was completely fine to me. And again, I like the fact that they just embraced what they were doing and not trying to go against it. But yeah, that's about it guys. I hope that you enjoyed this short video, and stay tuned for tomorrow because we're going to be listening to The Imprisoned Words of Fear, a unique album by the band Verbal Delirium. But that's all guys, have a wonderful day and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Bye guys.